Welcome back, everybody, and let's start this one off with a little bit of story time. It's not a non sequitur. It directly relates to where this video is hopefully going. So the wife got a new fire pit for the kind of outdoor conversation area, and it came with that way too small bag of lava rock that propane fire pits come with. The first time we fired that bad boy up, we're sitting there around the small artificial campfire, and then there's a loud popping noise, and we were like, what is that? And then there's another loud popping noise, which was one of the lava rocks exploding, and it flew up, ricocheted off the roof of the gazebo, and burned a hole in one of the chair cushions. Before I could get up and turn the gas supply off, a second one exploded and hit me in the mouth. So I don't want to be attacked by volcanoes on a regular basis, so I ordered those little they're like irregularly shaped pieces of glass, and I put those in there, and it has not been an issue. So I had to go and empty those lava rock out of the fire pit. And as I'm pulling them out of there, I'm going, wow. I mean, even compared to my number one favorite, the Type S mortar mix, these things are like, they're not grippy, they are abrasive. So that got me to thinking, maybe I should head over to the Lowe's and see if I can buy a couple bags of these. And as it unsurprisingly turns out, you can. $4 for a half a cubic foot bag. So I bought a couple bags of lava rock. I bought a couple bags of my favorite, the Type S. I bought a bottle of concrete dye in the hopes of turning it red, because really the only choice for lava rock, at least where I am, is red lava rock. I know I've been to a trailer park or two in my day. I've seen different colors, but as it was red, I decided to attempt to dye it red, and I made a little something, and then I asked around the group like who wanted to come out and test that out, even though it's probably not cured all the way in yet. And Argentum the Phoenix was like, I ain't done nothing in what feels like weeks. So he came out. Zoidberg is fitted with yet another set of shocks, some old Traxxas GTRs. I think they're like 80 millimeter. So he's going the whole other direction right now. So I said, why don't you two guys get ready, and we'll come out and we'll test out at least the beginnings of the newest obstacle, what I'm calling the Red Menace. But let's be honest, when that dries out, like it's wetted down right now, when that dries out, it's less of a Red Menace and more of a pink nightmare.
He does too. He looks like a pink nightmare.
But if lava rock proves to be as grippy as I think it will, that main ascent up the middle is 52 degrees. The stuff on the side is like 66 degrees. So we are gonna see what we can make of it. Argentum will make a run at this first. And I will mention, like, I can definitely hear it. That pump has got a real wow, wow, like a Tibetan throat singing thing going on. So in case I forget to mention it on Friday, I have indeed ordered a replacement pump. That will be the backup drain the pond when it gets filled with horrible algae pump. Now let's just go straight up. It should be no problem at all. Yeah, I felt like it could be a little steeper. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of lava rock getting punched off the top there. Oh, it's a little it's a little tricky to come down off of, I must say. Oh, yeah, I'm going to eject quite a bit of rock from this. Suddenly I've been driving nothing but four-wheel steer, poorly, but nevertheless, I've had 4 steerable wheels here now for a little while, last week at least, and now it feels like, this feels like it barely turns. And the Phoenix has got pretty good steering. Let's see, it's G-word. It is very high in the grip department. I chose this section here, and also worthy of note, the pipe was cut and made an entrance here because it occurred to me that the only other entrance is over there by the driver's stand, and then the other entrance is way over there around on the other side. And some rigs are either too low or just don't have enough juice to make the pop to get up over the polyethylene pipe. So I figured probably not a bad idea to make another entrance. I don't mean in any way to demean the Phoenix by saying, well, if the Phoenix can make it, Zoidberg should have no problem. As Zoidberg has not touched a rock with shocks this short. They're basically the same length as those on the Phoenix. And I had noticed Zoidberg was having some issues, particularly side hill wise, weight transferring. So we will see. This is more of a tire thing here. But there's a lot of traction to be had out there. Now, how about the long wheelbase over the top? Are we going to hang out belly? Nope. Didn't kick nearly as many rocks loose either. Oh, there we go. There's a proper belly hang there. Yeah, four-wheel steer it's like cheating. Okay, is that going to stay? Oh yeah. Hold. These are just the springs I found that happened to fit those Traxxas GTR shocks, which are from like an old-timey Revo or something. Let's try that steep bit here. Yeah, it's no problem there, which is kind of good. Like I say, when you're getting a bunch of obstacles put into place, everything doesn't need to be impossible. Yeah, there's so much grip, I can't dig, pull it there. Oh. All right. Whoa! Oh, that hurt me inside. That was suitably abrupt. Let's call this like it is. I mean, there's a 50% chance I just pick up some cheap rattle cans and just paint this. If it would stay that, I'll call it ruddy brown. I do not know what has happened to the Phoenix, Argentum and Phoenix's drag brake. Like, look at that fade. I gotta get in there. I need to hook it up to Castle Link anyway to turn off that infernal beeping. And also, I mean, I've got the transmission click. So there's that too. Come on from the other side. This is no problem. Went to the big dig here. shooting some rocks. I also currently have a as yet unassigned radio link. Definitely thinking, yeah, that drag brake just like, it used to hold like tossing an anchor out the window. And I mean, I can live with that tiny little amount of creep, but it's just strange that it grabbed so hard, and I don't recall changing anything, and now it doesn't really hold. Well, it holds, but it doesn't hold like a clamp. And I guess that's what I had gotten used to. So I don't think there's a problem with the 80mm shocks. I think 90s are probably the sweet spot. So a lot of material coming out here. Yeah, you can get drunk on four-wheel steer. Tried to get a little bit of this. Yeah, you can really. Oh, that was nice. You can really see down here on the pipe where it's like dried all the way through. That's carnation pink. How's that gonna pull around? I don't know. You know, 3 minutes of wheeling isn't gonna determine what shock length is the guy. Getting a tire up on the log there. Yeah, I don't know. These are feeling pretty good. Although sourcing springs for them is going to be a bit of an issue because they have like an oddly oversized bore. They're like, I want to say the shocks are like, I think the shocks are around 12mm on the outside of the shock body, and most crawler springs are in that 12 to 13mm range. Yeah, that LCG does have a tendency to get caught up. Oh, nope, save it. Kick some more rocks off there. Yeah, so this is a no problem sort of obstacle. I say that. I do like how the rear, the arbitrarily chosen rear shock angle. It really, you see right here, it really draws down. This isn't bad, and whatever those springs are, I'm not 100% sure what those springs are. They just happen to fit, and I had 4 of them. They're not terrible. I have a couple other shock mounting positions I could try. The rears are basically in the lowest position. They're as far forward. You can see the shock there just above the tire. They're laid down as far as possible, and they're in the lowest mounting position. So there's still some mounting options. The frame needs another little bit of trimming, as the adjustment collars, which I don't even need. I could just remove the upper collars and then I wouldn't need to trim. The collar hits the rear chassis, the little swoop right there in the back. Wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I don't feel like I'm ready to take the chassis apart again just yet. How much of this can we get into? Oh, that's, yeah, it still needs more gear. It has too much low speed. So like, it's got a little bit of bump. Let's try a bump here. The bump right next to the 2-foot deep pond. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'd like it's almost like the bump is gradual. You got a little, do we need another motor swapperoo? Is that what's gonna happen? Do we put the 1200 back in Little Yella and put the 1800 in here? Because I had to take the 1800 out because it was too hot for a Capra gearbox, but apparently it's not too hot for a Amazonian gearbox. I don't know. It's tough to say. And again, I don't feel like, here's my problem. I don't put in enough wheel time before I start making adjustments. Yeah, going back and forth between these guys. And there's a 1900 in the Phoenix, Slate 1900. So 100 more kV, but it feels like a rocket. I mean, really, I have to be so gentle, and I have to give Zoidberg so much more throttle. I gotta see, why is that fading? Yeah, every one of these little impromptu test sessions feels like it's here just to create, for me to create more work for myself. Yeah, I thought that this section right here would be a bit more of a challenge, but at the same time, I thought, I bet Lava Rock is the highest traction thing known to man. And it is. I probably shouldn't be driving on this for like 2 days because I'm going to kick so much Lava Rock out of it. But if anything, that'll bring the traction profile down a little bit. And honestly, I think I'm okay with that. Let's just try a little bit right here. The problem with it being so much traction is that it takes away quite a bit of the steering. Now, if it was too much traction, I'd be able to ascend this in rear-wheel drive, and I cannot. Can I not? Oh my. Oh my. Okay. This is officially like a Matt's off-road recovery video where someone with a vehicle that isn't ready has taken it to a place that they shouldn't. Because if I just hit this little bip, yeah, what a difference, right? Oh, it's so punchy. It's so punchy. I think I think it's all but an inevitability that the RC4 goes in Argentum, just so I can dial a little bit less anger into that 4S slate in there, and more gear into this guy, because I have to give it quite a bit of throttle. Oh, and that's right, he does have some mildness dialed in. Hey, this is a quick fix here. What is it under? Throttle Expo, enter mode, off. Okay, so here's the curve removed. Nope, it feels exactly the same. Okay, so that's not it. It just needs more gear. No, I'd say midpoint on the throttle feels different enough. Yeah, the approach and departure angles of, yeah, you want some power? The approach and departure angles of Zoidberg are, I think, as good as you can get. Like, there's nowhere I can go here. That was fortunate that I don't have enough angle to get onto an obstacle. He does, I mean, he can manage pipe breach. Let's try pipe breach onto a steeper section here. This is where you need a bit more pop. Yeah, see, it's like a cat trying to open a door. Okay, but in fairness, I mean, that's jumping on to like a 30%. Of course, I left in part written away. Yeah, the amount of 4S pop, though, you know, there's a lot more. Okay, I think that's just a spot that can't that can't be bumped. Oh, come on. Yeah, there's the difference between the straight polyethylene and that roll, and polyethylene with some Type S smeared on it. It's a lot of. Oh. So it's brand new, it's not seasoned in yet. I can't really pass a judgment. Is this too easy or too hard? These are two of the more capable rigs that I have. The Phoenix out of the box is immensely capable. Zoidberg gets better pretty much all the time. This obstacle will undoubtedly season in a little. We'll see if it gets better. I'm actually kind of hoping it gets a little slippery. Because, you know, you don't want too much grip. When I laid it out, I was worried that when I kind of removed this, because it was just a smooth slope there where it's kind of punched in. I was worried that rigs wouldn't be able to make this like bypass transition across here, but I think it's turned it into a more interesting feature now. Because what I do is I kind of look at what's not getting used, what's an underutilized piece of real estate, and I try to work from there. And this was a spot where, I mean, aside from driving down off of Pagoda Bridge, it just wasn't used at all. So there is and by my standards, this was quick, the Red Menace / Pink Nightmare. It's kind of an obstacle in that, you know, I would say you can't just drive straight up it, but you can. There are some tricky bits, you know. If there was a gate on here, this would be a lot more difficult to manage. And the amount of grip here actually almost serves to be an issue, because there's actually less steering to be had because the rear is pushing so hard. We saw Argentum essentially climb it in rear wheel drive. So there you have it. If you want to make your high traction Type S mortar obstacle into a super high traction obstacle, just stuff a bunch of lava rocks into it. But I would say skip the expenditure of the concrete dye, because I used a whole bottle in a bag and a half, which is what this is, a bag and a half of mortar mix, by the way. Which a bottle they said would do 120 pounds, and a bag and a half is like 140. So I used the whole amount, and it's still, I mean, if this is any indicator, that's pink. So time is gonna tell if this is the Red Menace or the Pink Nightmare. But I'm not sad about it. I think it's fine. So let's keep this down to sitcom length minus commercials, or at least we'll make an effort to do so, and wrap this up right now. Thanks for tuning in to see these two guys on this pink thing. Tune in for the next one. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment below. Leave a like if you liked it. If you don't, forget that you came here, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. And have a good one, everybody. We'll see where this goes next.